If you are anything like me, you are always looking for ways to make healthy eating a little bit easier. After all, it can be difficult for busy people to find the time to shop for and prepare high-quality meals. And there is a bewildering amount of nutrition and diet plans offered by doctors, physical therapists, nutritionists, and pretty much anyone that can afford to make a commercial and try to convince you that their way is best. For a price, of course. One nutrition concept seems to be relatively uncontested, though, and that is the notion that fresh fruits and vegetables are not only good for you, but are essential to health and well-being. Of course, we can quibble about the sugar level in some fruits and the starches in certain vegetables, but pretty much everyone agrees that we would all be much better off eating more fresh, unprocessed fruits and vegetables. So when I heard about a potential shortcut to getting more fruits and vegetables in my diet, I was very interested. There were several companies I saw promoting daily capsules containing all the fruits and vegetables I would need to enhance my health. That was an intriguing idea. After all, I do take vitamins, so why not fruit and vegetable capsules? There was one thing that bothered me, though. How many servings of fruits and vegetables could really fit in such small capsules? I wanted to know if it was possible to get all the fruit and vegetable nutrients I needed in such small packages. I decided to start by looking at fruits. The U.S. government website myplate.gov recommends roughly 2 cups of fruit per day for most men and women. 1 cup of chopped apple and 1 cup of sliced strawberries would meet the recommendation per the website, or 2 cups of apple, or 2 cups of sliced strawberries. You get the idea. I wanted to know whether it was possible to get that amount of fruit in other ways than by eating the fresh fruit. My plan was to compare fresh fruit to other options, such as freeze-dried fruit, freeze-dried bulk fruit powder, and fruit capsule supplements. I used Balance of Nature as the example of fruit capsule supplements since they are a popular choice right now. I want to emphasize that I'm not really for or against Balance of Nature. I'm just using their product for comparison to other options. Balance of Nature says they use a proprietary cold processing method to remove the water and then pulverize the fruit into powder form. This sounds like a freeze-drying method to me, but they don't provide details, so I'm just speculating. Freeze-drying is widely accepted as a food preservation method that retains most nutrients from the original fruit or vegetable. So far, so good. So I began my comparison of Balance of Nature to freeze-dried and freeze-dried powdered fruits. I couldn't find freeze-dried bulk powdered fruit that combined multiple fruits score 1 point for Balance of Nature, but will compare fresh chopped apples to freeze-dried apples, freeze-dried powdered apples, and then to Balance of Nature fruit capsules. The freeze-dried powdered apples I used for the comparison were apples with no other fillers or ingredients. This sounds very similar to fruit capsules, except the freeze-dried powders are packaged in bulk. If you buy freeze-dried instead of fresh apples, you need about 1 cup to equal the same amount of apples as in 2 fresh chopped cups. This is because freeze-drying removes the water, which is much of the volume of raw apples. Next, we'll look at freeze-dried bulk apple powder, which is widely available in health food stores and online. The amount needed to equal 2 cups of fresh chopped apples would be about 1/2 cup of powder. If freeze-dried fruit is pulverized, the powder is roughly half the volume of the freeze-dried fruit, and that was per various sites that sell the fruit powder. I tried pulverizing freeze-dried apples myself and got the same result. I'm sure there are variables, including the type of equipment used to pulverize the fruit, but it's in the ballpark. Finally, there is Balance of Nature and similar supplements whose labels say that 3 daily capsules are a combined fruit powder made up to 16 types of whole fruits. Now that is a tremendous advantage since it is much better to combine different types of fruits since they have different nutritional benefits. Each of these capsules is roughly 1/4 teaspoon when opened and measured. so 3 capsules would equal about 3/4 of a teaspoon. But I'll round it up to 1 full teaspoon just in case my measurement was not entirely accurate. There are 24 teaspoons in 1/2 cup, which is the amount of freeze-dried apple powder needed to equal the 2 cups of fresh chopped apples. Since 3 capsules of Balance of Nature and these other supplements equal about 1 teaspoon, it would take 72 apple capsules to equal 2 cups of fresh chopped apples. Yikes. So let's summarize the different forms of fruit and compare in terms of what would be needed to meet the daily government recommendation of 2 cups of fruit. Number 1, 2 cups of fresh chopped apples. That, by the way, is about 1.5 medium apples and would roughly cost $2. Now, I realize that there's many different prices of produce, but we'll just say roughly $2. Second, freeze-dried apples, and you would need approximately 1 cup, and that also costs about $2, but there are really wide variations in what the freeze-dried fruit costs, so it could be much more than that. Number 3, freeze-dried and powdered apples. It would take about 1/2 cup to meet the government recommendation, and that would be about $2.75. Again, there's a lot of variation in the costs when you look at it online in health food stores. And last, Balance of Nature powdered fruit capsules. It would take approximately 72 capsules to meet the government requirement, and that would be about $36 per day. The cost estimates that I included are based on products found at Walmart and online at Amazon. There are many, many products out there, and I'm sure there are options that cost more or less than I've shown. But the conclusions are obvious. If you don't want to or you can't eat 2 cups of fresh fruit per day, then the most convenient and cost-effective option is organic freeze-dried fruit. Bulk freeze-dried fruit powder is also an option, and there are many varieties available. The powdered fruit capsule supplements, such as Balance of Nature, don't appear to have anywhere near the amount of fruit as the other options. Maybe their proprietary cold processing method has some amazing new way to shrink the fruits far beyond conventional freeze-drying and pulverizing. So, Balance of Nature, miracle or myth? I think, unfortunately, I would have to say it's a myth.